No?
Yes.
So thank you, Nabhinan Prabhu, and thank you, live group, especially for all the, what do you call it, pushing the buttons? Without the buttons, nothing would happen here. No, I really sincerely appreciate your efforts. I remember the first time I called you and I said, let's start this Gopi project. And you were just like, so spontaneous, go ahead, 208, why one? So, and I'm proud to say and happy to say that one of them has become a topper in UP. That means he's become a topper in the state. Now, one state in India is equivalent to the size of Finland, And if we had not sponsored that young lady, she would not have been going to school. And within 1 year, because she was so enthusiastic, she topped and she became #1. And the chief minister office called her and they gave a certificate and she, so like there are other gopikas also, we call them gopikas, the students, and they're doing really well. And the water thing is just amazing, I'm stressing on that because we're also used to just walk into the kitchen, to the sink, to the bathroom, and you turn the tap and water comes. Just think that every time you want water, you have to go to some pot somewhere, or you have to go early in the morning and fetch 3 to 5 pots from dirty lake, bring the water home, purify it, and then use it for the rest of the day. And you have to be so economic to make sure that the water lasts for the day. Otherwise, you have to go for another half an hour, one way, another half hour this way. Anyway, so the greatness of this, services is like collective teamwork. And what I'd like to say that, every service that we do in Vrindavan multiplies the benefits, multiply by 1,000 times. It's a sastric injunction. It's not just a statement, And especially any service done in Kartik month. This is Kartik month is known as Urjamas. Urjamas is after Radharani's name. Radharani is Urjeshwari. Urjeshwari, Radharani. That means there is some special energy, effulgence that is coming from Radharani. The effulgence that comes from Radharani, cannot even sun from the effulgence that comes from. So that's beyond our conception and understanding, but that's how powerful her energy is. So that is, it's called, the month is called Urjeshwari. The Vrat is called Urja Vrat. That means in this month, people observe different, different kinds of austerities, basically, rising up early in the morning, 3 o'clock, 3:30, taking a cold shower. So like that, there's like many things that people do. Some people will fast the whole month practically. They'll just live on water and maybe like a palm full of butter, like Haridas Thakur used to. And you may think that doesn't happen, but it does happen a lot, There are people who do parikramas every day in this month. They'll do Govardhan parikrama, and then they'll come to Vrindavan, do Vrindavan parikrama, and then go next day back to Govardhan, and then back to Vrindavan. Every day they're doing parikrama. So 6-7 hours walk in Govardhan, and then 2.5 hours walk in Govardhan 6 hours, and Vrindavan like 2.5 hours. They do that much walking and chanting. And then they also observe Maun Vrat, that means they observe silence. So there's unlimited things that devotees do here. However, Prabhupada was asked about Urja Vrat, and Prabhupada said that, look, focus on your sadhana bhakti, get that perfected. And then he says, follow the regulative principles, be strict with them, because if you can do these 2 things, then everything is done, like that. Prabhupada was very particular that he didn't want the devotees to run here, then one to another. 10,000 Asma Dyagas, if you compare to one holy name of Krishna, that is an offense. Offense means it's a crime. You get punished for it. If you commit offenses, you get punished for it. And yeah, so in this month, we normally see it as Damodar month. And we all have heard of Damodar Leela, that, Mother Yashoda is running after Krishna, and then finally she catches him. And then she's trying to bind him, and she's having difficulty. She's binding one time, two times, extending the rope. And it goes on for sometimes, so much so. The reason why does Krishna do that? Because he doesn't only want to be bound by Mother Yashoda. What is he trying? What is he trying to do? Bind him. Bind him with what? The demigods are trying to win over Krishna, life after life, and they're not able to capture Krishna. But he is simple mother. She's running after Krishna, and Krishna is running in fear, and she captures him and she ties him. How is this possible? Krishna is showing that if you really love me, you come to me with love and devotion. Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, simple thing. Just with love, you can bind me anytime, anywhere. And then he's extending that rope again and again because he wants all the gopis to be involved. He wants all the coward girls to be involved. He wants all the Brajbasis to be involved. Because the rope is running short, the gopis are running and they're bringing ropes from their home, and they're using those ropes to try and bind. Again is short. Then another gopi is coming. Hundreds of gopis are coming. Again is short. Finally, what the gopis do is, so Rashida finally just gets the right size rope, and now he says Krishna is making everyone in the Braj run around. The Gopas going and bringing strings, the Gopis bringing the strings, so much so that any form of string that was in the house that was being utilized to bind Krishna again and again is short. Everyone's love is pouring like anything. They just want to bind him. He's a little kid, and the whole village is trying to bind him. So this is the uniqueness of this month. But there is more than that to this. See, Yashoda Maya's love is being manifested in this Damodara Astikam, in this Damodara Leela. But beyond that, there's also in the last, can you all hear me?
Yes. You're breaking up a little bit.
I'm just, because the electricity is gone here, so I'm on the,
okay.
That's why I'm asking. In the lamine twadi udarayatha viswasya damine namo radhikaya twadiyai priyaya namo nantalilaya devaya tobhyam. Why do we call this Radha Damodar Leela? This verse explains why. See, first it's being explained that Krishna's beauty is being described, Then Mother Yashoda's love, the coward girls, the gopis' love is being involved, And then it comes to a stage whereby saying, Namastestu going to meet Radharani. So Radharani is now angry, Now Krishna has become Aparadhi because he didn't come in time. So Radharani is coming angry. So she also wants to tie him up. This is another pastime. And this is being actually explained by Satyavrat Manu. Satyavrat Manu is one of the Manus who's always glorifying Damodar Leela. And different times, different places, different planets. It's not just on the Earth planet that this Leela is being performed. It goes on. This continuously, when the Leela is just completed here, somewhere else is already started. Every pastime of Krishna that you hear about in the Krishna book, it's not that only 5,000 years ago this pastime was performed and that's the end of it. No, that pastime continues from one planet to another planet to another planet. How do we understand? Simple. Look at the Mangalarti. 4:30 Mangalarti is starting somewhere. Right now there is also 4:30 a.m. somewhere else, and Mangalarti is starting. So right through the day, there's no moment when Mangalarti is not starting, and there's Mangalarti is not going through, simply on this planet. So similarly, these pastimes of Krishna, they are going on through different planetary systems. And some other time I'll explain that, like, whatever pastimes you think of when you leave your body, you will go to a planet where that pastime is being performed. So Krishna is late, aparadhi ho gaya Radharani ka. So Radharani turns around and she's showing her anger. But deep inside, she has so much love for Krishna. So she's thinking, what can I do? So then she takes her veni, the hairs, and it's like these garlands in there. She takes one of the garlands out and she ties Krishna with that garland. It is said by Satyavat Manu that this, because this love emanating from Radharani's heart into this garland, that she actually manifests herself as a garland to tie him up. Yes, and then when he's tied up, even he, although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he cannot undo himself. And so therefore, Satyavat Manu describes him as Radha Damodara. So just as much as this is Damodara Ashtakam is, we understand is Yashoda Maya's pastimes, but even more, universally, it is Radharani's pastimes, Radharani's love for Krishna and how she binds him, And his concern is described that in Krishna's belly, there are all different kinds of Saktis. There is Tathastha Sakti, Maya Sakti, Swarup Sakti. There are unlimited Saktis that emanate from Radharani. And they also emanate from the coward girls. They also emanate different energies emanating from Yasodamaya. So all these energies are, encompassed in Krishna's belly out of their love. So it's not like food that goes in the, but it's a metaphoric way of saying the love that is coming and emanating from all these different personalities. They are in the form of strings. They are in the form of ropes, and they are tying Krishna down. That's why this Damodara Ashtakam prayer ends with this sloka. Normally you just read it and think, oh, that's nice. But actually when you hear it from the sadhus, and you hear firsthand from very scholarly people who are Brajavasis and they are saintly people, they don't come at the forefront, but then they explain this is so beautiful, He says, Namo Radhikaya Twadhyaya Priyaya. We are paying obeisances to Srimati Radharani. Who is she? Twadhyaya Priyaya. She is so dear to Krishna. Just as much as Krishna is dear to Krishna, to Radharani, vice versa also. So this love of Radharani is so unique that it ties Krishna up, eternally, it says. It's always tied up. Why? Because same Leela is going on somewhere in different planet. There's no moment when he's not being tied by Radharani's ropes or Radharani's garlands. That's why paying our humble obeisances. This is a wonderful, way to celebrate this Damodar month. And this month is also very special because if you look at Google or you look at the YouTube and you see there's so many activities that are being celebrated during this month, And just to mention a few, this Radhakund and Shyamakund was manifested in this month, and this is the time when the appearance of Radhakund is celebrated. Not thousands, but hundreds and thousands of people come. The festival goes on for a whole week. There's Gopastami. There is a day when Krishna started grazing the cows. That's also in this month. Then there's Baulastami, the name of cow. There's Baulastami, there's the name of a cow. The cow mother was out there, and there's a lion that was waiting to eat it. And then the cow is speaking to the lioness and saying that, look, my calf is hungry and it's at home. So please don't eat me now. Let me go and feed the cow, and then I will come back, and then you can eat me. So the lion actually agrees, and the cow goes and is feeding the baby calf and is crying. And then the calf is asking the mother, why are you crying? She said, this is what happens. So after feeding you, I will go and I will not come back. So the calf, the baby calf says, no, I will go, So then this, this information is passing around, and then everybody in the Braj wants to go. How many of us would volunteer to go in front of a lion and say, please eat me instead of the cow, The Krishna works in mysterious ways. He's doing this. So this Baulastim is like that. So finally, everyone goes, and then Krishna comes, and then he blesses everyone. And the cow just happened to be Yamraj. The lion was Yamraj. Yamraj was testing the cow because this cow was so advanced. And this is what Krishna wanted to show some pastimes, that this is what our love should be like, We should be willing to give our life for Krishna, and his cows. Not that, like Prabhuji was saying, that we see go 6 Gosalas, and we just help them with supply of food. But it's such a big service, because if we were not able to help them maintain the cows, then they have to let the cows go loose on the streets. And if they go out on the streets, then they eat plastic, and then they get sick and they die. Because people are throwing plastic here and everywhere. Although it's banned, it's still everywhere. So Baulastami is the pastime of this calf, and how then Yamraj, shows himself, and he's very satisfied with all the villages, all the cows, and Krishna comes and blesses everyone. Then there's Gopi Geet, Venu Geet, Brahman Geet. This is in the 10th canto. These are all pastimes that are happening in this month also. Then there's Purnima, it's very special Purnima, and Lord Krishna is performing pastimes as Rasa Leela, but it's also said Balaramji also performs, Rasa Leela on the Purnima. Then Dhruv Maharaj is performing tapasya where? In Madhuvan. Where is Madhuvan? Madhuvan is in Braj. See, so Dhruv Maharaj is performing his 6 months of tapasya where he's fasting, and then he stops breathing until the whole planet starts suffocating, and then the Lord appears and blesses him. So that is also being celebrated in this month. Tulsi Viva, the famous Tulsi Viva, how everybody celebrates Tulsi Viva. Every temple is doing Tulsi Viva in this month. Then Bhishma Panchak, Lord Bhishma Dev had this boon that he could leave his body whenever he wanted to. So no matter what people try, power to leave his body whenever he wanted. So he decided that in Kartik month he'll leave his body. And he's so fortunate. He's such an advanced devotee that Lord Krishna is present there, when he's leaving his body. And then he's asking Lord Krishna, that look, blessings is he asking for? He says, I want you to manifest your form here as I'm living. So as my eyes close and I go to the other planet where you are, when my eyes open there, I want you to be present there also. So this keeps flashing. I'm still on?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm going through. So then Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Vrindavan was his home. He was saying, Vrindavan is my home, Bombay is my office. When he was in New York one time, he said, I'm in the greatest city of the world, but I'm missing my home, Vrindavan. And anywhere he would, people ask him about himself. He said, "Yes, I'm a sadhu from Vrindavan." And every time his pastimes mentioned in the news media, people would refer to him as a sadhu from Vrindavan, a city near, Delhi. So Srila Prabhupada gave us so much, so much information in such a short time, and he opened the doors for us to come to Vrindavan. Not just us few who are followers, but because of Srila Prabhupada, Sanatana Dharma has spread all over the universe, all over the planet, and also so many people are coming now to Vrindavan. Even the Brajvasis will say, yes, it's because of Srila Prabhupada so many people are coming. Otherwise, before it was completely quiet. There were not even no roads, proper roads also, It was all forest and there's a lot of decorations around also. So the greatness of Vrindavan again is that, anything that you do in Vrindavan, generally, it multiplies by 1,000 times. So in the month of Kartik also, it is said that there is a new book just recently released. It's Ayendra Prabhu is called Ayendra Prabhu's Kirtan Revolution. And Ayendra Prabhu is explaining and mentioning in his book that having understood so many different things and so many vratas and everything under the guidance of Prabhupada, he was very happy to hear that everything that you do in Vrindavan multiplies by 1 time. So for example, if I'm in Washington, I do 16 rounds, it's 16 rounds. If I'm in London, it's 16 rounds. But if I do 16 rounds in Vrindavan, it's like chanting 16,000 rounds. Right? So if you had $16 to invest and you get only $16 back in London, Washington, but if you can get $16,000 in Vrindavan, where would you invest your money? Needless to say, right? And then Ayendra Prabhu was explaining that actually this Satyavrat Manu is explaining that in Kartik time, anything that you do in the world also multiplies by 1,000 times. But in Vrindavan, it multiplies by 1 million times. So he gives a whole calculation of what it means. And only this morning I was listening to one lecture where they were explaining that if you can chant 64 rounds continuously for 11 years, then there'll be some extraordinary sakti that will be manifested inside you. That you will be able to cure so many things and solve so many problems without any endeavors. But you have to chant for 11 years, 64 rounds. But if you can do that in Vrindavan, it's so much more shorter. Let you do the calculations, you all have your calculators. So next time you come to Vrindavan, time it out and come for the time so that you can benefit. Vrindavan ki Mahima is unlimited. When Radharani was asked to come to Vrindavan, she said, I'm not going. But there on that planet, there's no Yamuna there and there's no Brajraj. What does it mean? That Brajraj, Yamuna, concealment. However, Krishna was so kind and because of his love to Radharani, he said, what to speak of this? That's why it is said that Vrindavan Dham is actually Golok Dham. And then first time in the 70s when Prabhupada came with the devotees to Vrindavan, and devotees were a little baffled that this is meant to be like Golok Dham in Bhagavatam. Golok is such a amazing description that we don't see any of that here. And Prabhupada explains that you see you have an orange. So if you want to get to the juice, what do? You have to take the peel off first. Once you take the peel off, you take the strings off. When you take the strings off, you take the seeds out, and then you get to the juice. So he said it's like that. All these external manifestations you see, people either smoking or drinking or whatever, that is like the peel of the orange. But one who is sincere and eager to have the juice will get to the juice. He'll not give attention to the peel. He'll not give attention to the seeds or the strings because they are of no use to them. So likewise, when you come to Vrindavan and you see so many unusual things, do not let that deviate you, from real Vrindavan. So much so that even Akbar came to Vrindavan. And after coming to Vrindavan, getting mercy of Haridas, his whole consciousness was transformed. He was the only Akbar ruler who actually allowed temples to be built, and he was the only person who allowed so many things, unlike the other demoniac personalities. Vrindavan, if you spend time here, literally around every corner, and you meet Brajvasis, you will be able to hear so many different stories, amazing stories, how Krishna is even today is giving, darshan to people. There was one couple, one very old couple who came all the way from Calcutta to here. This was probably about 70, 80 years back. And the reason they came is this Mataji, she was having dreams of Banke Bihari, and she always wanted to come and see Banke Bihari. Then she felt Banke Bihari ji was calling her. So morning to night, she would just stay in the temple room and just take darshan, and she would not want to move. She don't want to eat. She don't want to, sleep. So at the end of the month, when she had to leave the last day, she was crying so much, standing in front of Bihariji. And then they sat on a bullock cart and started going whichever direction they were supposed to. Now, in the meantime, the Pandit, he came in and he opened the curtains and he saw that Bihariji was not there. Krishna had disappeared. But these Goswamis, they are also very advanced devotees. Don't take them as ordinary people, because when we look at them, they just see them in either saffron colors or white colors and we think, oh, it's just one pujari. They are not just pujaris. They are also, very elevated personalities. So this pujari could immediately understand that Krishna has run off with somebody. So he runs out looking, and then he finally sees Krishna as a little boy sitting with this old couple. Now this old couple didn't know that Krishna was sitting them. Him sit on the cart with them, And then Krishna saying, look, I cannot leave my mother. She's crying so much. How can I just let her go like this? If she gives me permission, then I'll come back to the altar. So finally, that whole situation is diverted, and he comes into the temple. And one of the reasons why, if you go into Bihariji temple, they keep opening and closing the curtains like this from that time, because I think kisi ki nazar na lag jaye, Krishna doesn't run away again. So yeah, like that, there are pastimes, and this month, anything that you perform, perform with love and devotion. Give some time. It's very important. If we are chanting, chant early in the morning. Chanting very early, getting up early and chanting early in the morning with intense attention. That will make a lot of difference to your whole spiritual life. You should chant in such a way. It's just like when a new song comes out. If you remember when you were a teenager, a new song came out, whether it's Hollywood, Bollywood, or for the pops, you sang it all the day long and all the street along, and even without knowing it, you were humming. Right? So you have that ability. We all have that ability. We should chant so nicely that it will start humming within our system. It will make all the difference that Anybody has any questions? I can go on telling so many stories and so many things, but it'd be nice if you have questions or any discussion. Anybody would like to say anything? Then we can get into a little discussion for maybe next 10 minutes or so.
Thank you so much for sharing the nectar from Vrindavan. And devotees can unmute yourself and ask a question or share any realizations that you have of Vrindavan or Trikalajna or anything. Kartik Mass.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that was Pranam Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj. This is Sharanagata from USA. I have a question about the Bhishma Panchak. I mean, why that's so much important? Prabhuji, I just wanted to know that why those 5 days, last 5 days, so much importance is given, and what is the best service we should do? I mean, during those 5 days, what is the recommendation? I mean, apart from ghee lamp, chanting, reading, we are all doing that complete Kartik month. But is there anything more than that we should be recommended to do it during those 5 days, Bhishma Panchak?
Yeah, one very important thing we should do is we should free ourselves of manodharma. Manodharma means like our mind is always thinking, oh, I like said 5 days, right? So last 5 days, that means 25 days are gone, and you must be thinking, we all think, wow, 25 days are gone. I was able to chant, I was able to do this. Maybe one day I failed, and you feel sorry about it, and then think, but now last 5 days I'll do my best. And you should actually do your best. But monodharma means the mind is always thinking like this. I did this and I can do this. I did that. No, that is actually, that doesn't come under anya vilasita sunyam. We should not be desiring. We should not be feeling proud of what we've done. We should just feel privileged. We should feel so much privileged that we are very fortunate that first of all we are in a group of population of the world which understand there is such thing as Kartik month. And then we are so fortunate that we can understand Kartik month to some extent, and that we are able to observe it and get all the benefits that we hear. But at the same time, we should remain neutral. We should remain, I did this, or I'm going to do that like this. Plan it, and then do it nicely, and be completely absorbed, in the service that you're doing. Fasting and everything, Prabhupada did not give so much stress on. He stressed, again, like I said earlier on, your sadhana bhakti, and your following of regulatory principles and chanting the rounds. And he emphasizes so much on chanting the round. What is the conclusion of Bhagavatam? You read so many chapters and so many cantos of Bhagavatam, and the conclusion when Parikshit Maharaj is asking, Sukadeva Goswami, what is the conclusion? He says Harinam Sankirtan. What is Lord Chaitanya giving us? Harinam Sankirtan. All these pastimes from the first canto, second canto, third canto, like that, they are all giving us examples of great personalities who surrender with love. 5 days we should focus so nicely. Our bhav should be so intense that we are doing this for the pleasure of Krishna. And to understand that, is saying, so what is Mother Yasoda doing? She is attached to Krishna, and that is Vrindavan. The same thing is otherwise. Vrindavan life means attachment to Krishna. Nanda Maharaj is attached to Krishna. The coward boys are attached to Krishna. The calves and calves are attached to Krishna. The flowers are attached to Krishna. The water is attached to Krishna. That is Vrindavan. Vrindavan means central attachment is Krishna. That is Vrindavan. So nicely Prabhupada is talking about flowers, water. Why? Because there are also personalities. In Golok, nothing is just like dead matter. Everything is living matter. In Golok, you can milk as much milk as you want from the cow throughout the day. It's not just that the cow will give some more milk in the morning, some in the evening, provided it's fed. There are desire trees. And when you go to the desire trees, whatever your manorama is, whatever is going through your mind, the tree knows automatically, okay, this person wants a mango, this person wants, a gulab jamun. If we can, work seriously, Anya Vilasita Sunyam doesn't actually fall from the sky. It takes time. It's like when you go to school, university, college, PhD, like that. You come to a stage whereby everything else becomes very trivial. You don't even think about, how many of us think of how it was at kindergarten? But when we were at kindergarten, it was important, right? How many of us think likewise at 12 plus, and then college, and then university? And then when university is done and you get your certificate, you go out and practice, you forget even the university. So it's like this, all these steps that take us closer to Krishna. Those steps we have to go through, but the step will come at a certain stage. The Guru will give us the blessings. Krishna will give us the blessings to the Guru in such a way that we will be able to perform Anya Vilasita Sunyam. So these last few days, we should intensify. 5 days are important because if you practice 25 days, then it will be our consciousness should so much so be absorbed, so that we win the race. It's like we have to do 30 laps of running, and now we're getting 5 more laps to do, and we should do it so successfully. So that's my
I just
understand.
I just wanted to share something.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Completely echo what you say, because if we take the ego out of it and try to increase the bhakti, it's certainly important for
Yes.
Kartik. But
Yes.
the Goswamis have given some indication how one can worship in these 5 days. For example, it says first day you can offer this Padma flower, and then next day is Bilva, wood apple, third day is Gandhan, scents, and then fourth day is Java flower, Malati. This is all assisting us that we, and this is from the Garud Puran actually, there's different things that one can do, which are given in the Padma Puran as well, Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami. There are different things that one can do. There's different levels of fasts as well one can perform. Again, not to increase the ego, because that generally is what happens. Oh, you know what, I did this. But there's different things that one can do. And if you're interested, Madaji, you can just send me, just put your email or something on
Sure.
the chat, and I can send this to you. It just gives you a bit of an idea. It's not that we want to bypass the holy names and the reading of Srila Prabhupada's books and the different things that we do during Kartik. But this, if it can fit well into your schedule, is something that you may want to add to the bhakti that you do during those 5 days.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, that's what I meant. I wanted to add something to last 5 days, and thank you so much, both you and Trikalajna Prabhu, for guiding me. Thank you. I'll write down my email address here.
Sure. So anything else? Anybody else would like to ask Prabhu? I would like to say, when are we going to have the next session? Because this is so inspiring, Trikal Prabhu. And I think if we can make this, put this, have this as a regular event on our diaries, it'll be very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm happy, depending on how everyone feels. Maybe we should start with once a month, and then if there's more interest, we can develop more. More important is we do it once a month and we get more people, awareness to more people, so more people can also join us,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Trikalajna, Mama. It's nice to hear you. Haribo. Yeah, it's nice to hear from you. Almost didn't recognize you. I will get my son to buy you a razor. I've not seen you with a beard. I'm not sure if I like it that much. So I'll sponsor a razor.
And a ticket. I'll go and deliver the razor.
Oh, I see.
You don't mind.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I was going to ask Trikalajna, when was the last time you came to London? You have a lot of friends here.
2007.
Wow, that's a long time. So I guess a trip is overdue. Is that what I believe?
Yeah, firstly, my new outlook is because of Kartik. In Kartik, people don't shave, and it's actually
I see.
one of the activities. Yes, so and it helps me to disguise myself.
You're right. I didn't recognize you because Jairam sent me a photograph. I was like, why has he sent me this? Who is this? And he'd taken it from the side, so I couldn't really tell. And it's only when he sent me a video.
No, just before this program, Jairam came here with Jairam came here with like 15, 20, UK Walas, and we had a great 2-hour kirtans. So the video I sent you is the first kirtan I did, and then we went around, and these young people are amazing kirtanias, such nice kirtanias, Mandunga players.
Yes.
So it was really nice to have that association. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we definitely miss your kirtans. especially the live ones that you used to do at the Red Gates here in Staines.
Right.
And I've since sort of met quite a few devotees, and you know, I've got it on my mobile phone, so I listen to it, and they listen to it, and they say, "Oh, please let us know when he's coming. We'd love to attend the kirtan by His
You're
Grace
not
Trikalajna
coming
Prabhu."
through anymore.
Oh, I see. So they have to come to Vrindavan, is it?
Think about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone is invited. Look, these youngsters I was talking to this evening, they were just so happy when I said it's like 16 million rounds in Karthik. Nobody wants to live in Vrindavan now, at least till the end of.
No, yeah. But it's
And
good
it's
that
true.
you.
Actually, come here and we chant. We feel so good. You know, why don't we feel like that in London? That's the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that they experience it firsthand, and it's good that they associate with yourselves, and you continue to inspire them. So that's I'm pleased to hear that.
Yes, my pleasure. It's a privilege, you know. Whatever chance Prabhupada said, any chance you get to preach, don't miss it. Jump for it. Leave everything. Go preach. One time I had gone to attend a class. It was like 5 minutes before the class is supposed to start. And the temple secretary came. This is Vrindavan, a few years back. And he said, "Prabhu, can you give class?" I said, "What? Class is about to start. You want me to give class now?" He said, the devotee just called and said, "I'm so sick, I can't make it. He was trying to get me and he couldn't get through or whatever." I said, "Okay." And I just sat on the class. He didn't know what. All right, now Prabhu, thank you so much for organizing, helping in this Zoom, and thank Narendra
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Before we let you go,
together, I thank people from America, London. Yes.
Before we let you go, you know, Nabhinanda Prabhu was saying, when we're going to organize, thinking this month of Karthik is still going on. Why don't we, if it's agreeable with everybody, you know, next Sunday, if we can do next Sunday, then, you know, a few days later, Karthik is going to finish. So maybe we can have one more class on Karthik from Prabhuji, if everybody likes it.
I think it's a fantastic idea. If Trikal Prabhu is free.
Yeah, I'll make myself available. I'll narrate some really, you know, real life experiences in Karthik month of devotees.
That'll be really
in
amazing.
The last kind of in our times.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That will be great. Then we can feel we are in Vrindavan as well with you.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you for that suggestion. Really good suggestion. What we do now, unless there's anybody else, any comments or questions, we have a wonderful devotee in Mauritius who very kindly chants the Nrsimha Kavach and a few other prayers for Lord Nrsimha there. And this is for the protection of all the devotees. And we always think of you, Trikal Prabhu, because the service that you're doing in Vrindavan is second to none. And we are only engaged because of you giving us that opportunity. And we just want that opportunity to continue as long as humanly possible. So we pray for your good health. We pray for devotees' health so that they continue to Lord Nrsimha there, so they continue their seva to Radha and Krishna. So if devotees would like to
Thank you so much.
can, Mataji will, Karuna, Mataji, if you like to chant the prayers, are you there?
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Very good. Hare Krishna.
Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Dev ki jai.